Hello and welcome everyone to your December Guidance and Insights video. So I hope that you are feeling okay. For many of us, we just got through the first holiday in the US, Thanksgiving. And I know myself and many of my clients have been reporting a little bit of a holiday hangover. And given everything that's happening on the planet right now collectively, plus all of our personal stuff being stirred up, which just happens during the holidays, I'm not surprised. So, a little recap and a little reflection first. So, November, we had the Reason card. And I like to call the Reason card the Divine Masculine, Divine Father card. And that is again from my Syrian Starseed Tarot deck. And so it was really asking us to step more into those divine masculine shoes, be more of that divine father to ourselves. And how did you do with that? Right? So with compassion and curiosity, do a little reflection. How did you do with protecting your time, your energy, your money? That's a divine masculine trait, as well as setting and keeping boundaries, right? That kind of goes along with protection. So were you able to honor yourself and say no to things that you didn't really want to do, right? Our people pleaser. Were you able to have that balance of work, rest, healing, and playtime and not just fall off the wagon, let your superhuman take over? And then, of course, our perfectionist, the part of us that is always very critical, that's actually a shadow masculine trait. So I recommend to take a few moments, again, with compassion and curiosity. We don't use any of this information to beat ourselves up. And ask yourself, how did you do with stepping into those divine father, divine masculine shoes for yourself? As we, again, know, we are all here in this lifetime to practice integrating that divine masculine, feminine within ourselves. So moving on to December, I'm going to start with the card for the month and then also move into a little bit of astrology. So our December card is karma. So I'm going to give you my take on this card. I'm actually not going to read from the book. I've been going more with my own intuition and guidance on what these cards mean. So for karma, what it's really asking us to do this month, it's been asking us to do it all year, but in a bigger way in December before we move into 2026. It's asking us to really look at what are those patterns, those belief systems, people even, that we are going to need to let go of. What stuff that have we been dragging along from the past? Past meaning this life, other lives, but also past meaning the stuff we took on from our ancestors, parents, grandparents, the stuff that's in our DNA. And what are you being called to let go of, release, so that you can rise to your next soul level in 2026? As you might remember, this year, 2025, was the year of the snake, all about shedding. We are moving into the year of the horse, which is all about moving forward. So this year has been about shedding the past, and December is going to be a huge month. You're going to want to really focus on this so that you can move into 2026 and move forward more with what your soul desires. Ultimately, in this lifetime, everybody has come, whether it looks like it or not, to release all of the gunk, all of the conditioning, all of the limiting beliefs and fears that we not only picked up from our own negative experiences, wounds, traumas, this life, other lives, but that we've been carrying from our family, from our ancestors, etc. So, purging, releasing, shedding, What do you need to let go of so that you can rise to your next soul level in 2026? It's not easy. I'm going to be honest. I recently, just this past week, had another deeper download, soul guidance, that there was some leakage of my energy still with family. Even though I don't talk to my parents, I was still having leakage with other family members, and I need to stop. I've been guided very strongly, and it's very sad. I'm mourning that, right? I thought I could at least have some connection with some family members still. And my soul is showing me no, absolutely not. Not if I want to rise to my next divine level next year and really follow and receive what my soul desires, my soul's purpose. As we're doing this shedding, this releasing, it's really important that we are staying open to the unknown, which is really challenging for I'm going to say our ego, which our ego is made up of two parts. Our ego is made up of our conditioned self, conditioning by the collective, by family, etc., but also from the limiting beliefs and fears we actually picked up from those personal traumas and wounds that we've had in this life and other lives. So stay open and trust. As you are in this shedding, it's trusting that you will be guided. It's so scary for our human parts, not for our soul. It's so scary for our human, our ego, to let go when we don't have something else to grab onto right away. And we know that there has to oftentimes be space. So the letting go, I'll use an example, right? In the past, I used to get out of a relationship and partnership and get right back into a new one. Guess what? I would attract the same type of person, same issues, because I didn't give myself space to fully clear stuff out. So this is what I'm talking about, right? December, shedding big time, and then leaving that space open and trusting the new will come in, the new job, the new relationships, etc. All right, so that is December's card, karma. And I'm going to go through a little bit of astrology that's important. So we are in Sagittarius season. And what you're going to want to do, what I recommend, is that you're going to go look at your birth chart. And at this point, I recommend the Pattern app. It's free. There's a paid version too, but I recommend the free version. Gives you plenty of information. And go see what number house your Sagittarius sign is in. We all have all signs of the zodiac. And if you have planets in that house, in the Sagittarius sign, it's going to be even more powerful. But regardless, it's going to impact you during Sagittarius season. Sagittarius is fire, and it's a seeker. Sagittarius is fire energy, seeking, learning more about who you truly are. It's the teacher, the shaman, the gypsy. It's also the truth seeker. And seeking the truth of who you are. And we can only do that if we shed the old. We can only know more of who we are, who we truly are, not our conditioned self, if we shed. And so Sagittarius, that fire, is helping us to burn off the old, to release the old, so that you can see and learn who you truly are, who your soul truly came here to be. The body part associated with Sagittarius is the thighs. So again, moving forward, taking action, in this case, releasing. And then we're going to move into taking inspired soul actions. But first, it's releasing, shedding more of that old. On the 4th, we have a very powerful full supermoon in Gemini. So Gemini wants to see all sides. It wants to consider all possibilities, right? Both sides of the coin, all possibilities. So you want to be curious, you want to be open to all things that can come in for you right now. So releasing, shedding, and then staying open. And it's really asking us, do you want to stay in the past? Or do you want to move forward with the future? Do you want to continue reliving the past? Or do you want to open to new possibilities? Right? Do you want to release those old fears and limiting beliefs and conditioning and be more free? Right? So Gemini also has to do with freedom, and it has to do with communication. And in this case, we're really talking about soul guidance communication. And also, I'm going to say, it feels like as well with this full moon in Gemini, some completions. So again, releasing, shedding, death of the old, so that you can open to those new possibilities, those new, I'm going to call it possibilities as well with relationships, which is a big theme also this month in December in my Evolve Journey program, but in general, December, starting at the end of November and going into December, right, with the holidays, there's a big focus on relationships, and especially looking at what relationships are supportive and loving and which ones do we need to, again, let go of, right? Do we need to shed? So a lot of us have soul agreements that have not been fulfilled. So let me back up a minute. So when we came into this life, we all came in with a soul family, a soul tribe. And for some of us, yes, it's biological family, but there's people outside of that as well. And in this lifetime, we agreed, we had certain agreements set up, and we decided that if they weren't fulfilled by a certain time, and this is the time right now, then we would need to move on. We cannot drag people with us to our next soul level if they are not willing and ready and wanting to do this work. If they want to stay stuck in the past, in the old ways of doing things, the old beliefs, the old fears, the old conditioning, this is the time that we have to be very strong. And it can be challenging. I'm feeling it myself, as I said before, releasing all contact with family. For myself, I'm not saying that's true for all of you, but in my case, none of my family is willing to move beyond their conditioned self, right? Their ego self, not willing to do any type of the work that I'm doing, that many of us here, you listening, are doing. So there's going to be a very big call as part of this karma and as part of this Gemini full moon, right? The full moon is shining the light on the shadow stuff. And we're talking about these agreements now. Who is not stepping up? And we're going to need to cut ties and let go, or at least create a lot of space and stop trying to drag them along with us. Stop trying to save them, because we can't save anybody. Everybody is here to save themselves. They have to make the choice. So it's a big choice point this month for many of us. And this full moon is supporting that in Gemini. All right, some other important things this month. On the 10th, we have Neptune finally going direct. So just a few days ago, Mercury went direct. And who else went direct? Saturn went direct. So Saturn, boundaries, Mercury, communication, setting boundaries, communicating. And now we have Neptune going direct. And Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions, veils, and it's dissolving. So all of the false, all of the fantasy, and again, this goes with the karma theme. A lot of us have been holding on to this fantasy that this person or whatever it is, right, is gonna step up. And Neptune is saying, right, starting on the 10th, it's supporting us through January 26th. It's saying, you've got to let go. You got to let go of the fantasy. If they're not going to step up, we have to be okay with this ending if we're going to move forward, right, in the year of the horse. On the 19th, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. So again, Sagittarius is all about adventure. It's about truth seeking. As I said before, it's very expansive with the new moon energy, expansive. And expand to what you believe is possible for yourself and the world. And it's going to require this shedding that we've been talking about. Then we have the solstice. We're going to be in Capricorn. We move into Capricorn on the solstice. Capricorn is earth. It is very much about the hermit. It can be also about the leader. And it's about being a teacher. It's about responsibility, resourcefulness, and wisdom. So as we move into Capricorn again, you're going to want to look at what birth chart number, your house of Capricorn, your sign of Capricorn, what house it's in. And then you can Google that. But for those that are in my program, Evolved Journey program, you can go to my Astrology 101 document and read the house number in there or Google it as well. And so Capricorn really grounding as we're shedding, right? We're grounding into the truth, the new of who we are, opening up to new possibilities, resources, and really moving more into your leadership role. Pretty much everyone listening to this is a leader. Some of you, you're getting paid to be a leader, like myself, and some of you, you're just doing it with family and friends, which is still very important. Some of you both. All right. So a few other reminders. If you would like some extra support this month, we've got the Holiday Toolkit Workshop. So I highly recommend to listen or re-listen to that. I'll put the link below to access that. You also just had my Gifts of Gratitude, 6 mini gratitude practices. If you haven't listened to those, I highly recommend that. We want to keep an eye on the 3 Ps, right? These perfection, people-pleasing, superhuman patterns, they will, if you do not work with them and soothe them and shift them, they will keep you from shedding what you need to shed. They will keep you from rising to your next divine soul level in 2026. So a lot of focus on soothing, clearing, shifting, healing these 3P, balancing these 3P patterns. Let's see what else. Oils that you might want to work with this month. On Guard is a really good oil for releasing that old toxic stuff, as well as past tense. And then specifically when you want to work on healing any wounds regarding to male, female, geranium is the great emotional healer. So good for all cleansing of emotional gunk. And frankincense is really good as well, specifically though, more for male or father type gunk. Geranium more for female, mother type gunk. But On Guard for in general and past tense for releasing all stuff. And then connecting more with your soul, I'm going to recommend the oil of clary sage. All right. So much gratitude for you, sending you so much courage and love and compassion and hope. I know this feels really challenging, this shedding. And remember, you do not have to do it alone. We can't do it alone. I'm not doing it alone. I am continuing to get very, very, I'm going to say massive support right now with my own shedding, right? I've got a huge divine team. I have many people that are on that team helping me to rise to my next divine level as well. And if you'd like more of my support, again, you can check below this video. I've put some other resources in there for you. And yes, may we move through this month with as much ease, grace, and speed and compassion. So even if you are letting go, right, as you are letting go, compassion for yourself, And I'm having compassion, loads of compassion for those people that I'm releasing, right? Compassion for self and others, even though they're not going to come along and I have to release them. I'm still giving them loads of compassion energetically. Remember, we're all energy, which is why it's so important that we're not leaking our energy and that we're doing this shedding. All right, sending you lots of love and gratitude and wishing you the most nurturing holiday season possible and a smooth transition into 2026. Namaste.